It is Friday, July 31st, 2026, and you are listening to Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter, and yes, this episode was assembled end-to-end by AI tools, which means if we suddenly start arguing about whether a cat can legally own a YouTube channel, just know the robots are driving.
Hi besties, I'm Riley. And I love that we keep the little AI hiccups in. It's like artisanal glitch content, very farm to table.
Today's main story is a big shift in AI video trust. We're moving past, is this fake, and into, whose fake is this? There's a new research system called SAGA, Source Attribution of Generative AI Videos, and it tries to identify the likely generator family or model behind an AI-made clip.
Which is so much more useful than the old vibe of, congrats, you found out it's AI, now what? Like, okay, detective, do I get the culprit or do I just get anxiety?
Exactly. Traditional detectors are basically a bouncer, real, or generated. SAGA is more like, cool, that was generated, and it looks like it came from this particular model family, and maybe even which type of generation, like text-to-video versus image-to-video.
Wait, hold up, so it's not a watermark thing? It's not like the model stamped a QR code in the pixels?
Right. SAGA isn't embedding anything. It's analyzing the output and looking for spatiotemporal fingerprints, little consistent quirks in motion, texture, frame-to-frame behavior. The nerdy way to say it is, it learns the patterns different generators leave behind.
The creator way to say it is, the AI forgot to zip up its fly. Like it's walking around with the same tiny weirdness in every clip.
Yes. And the reason this matters is practical. If you're a creator, a brand team, or a platform, AI-generated is not enough information anymore. The internet is drowning in synthetic video that looks normal. A label is not a workflow.
Especially for brands, because the real nightmare is not someone made a fake ad. The nightmare is someone made a fake ad and it kind of looks like our campaign style, and then you're in the group chat typing, "We did not approve this," while your legal team is levitating.
And SAGA's whole promise is that attribution can help with disputes and takedowns and vendor verification. Like if you're outsourcing content to a studio or a contractor, you can audit what tools were likely used.
Okay, but I'm going to be the annoying one. If we move from, is this fake, to whose fake is this? Who actually gets believed first? The creator, the platform, or the model vendor with the fanciest dashboard?
Oof. Honestly, in practice, platforms get believed first because they control distribution, then brands, because they have lawyers, and creators get a form email.
Hate that for us.
Same, which is why the confidence part is critical. If SAGA says this looks like Model X with, say, medium confidence, you can't treat that like courtroom truth. It's more like a signal for triage.
Like probable cause, not a conviction.
Exactly, a gentle nudge toward where to investigate, and hopefully paired with other signals like watermarks, metadata, upload history, and human review.
Speaking of watermarks, this lines up with what we covered before on the whole SynthID detector expansion, right? Google pushing watermarking, and now we've got this parallel track where you can infer origin even when you don't control the ecosystem.
Yeah. Watermarking helps when generation happens inside a toolchain that reliably embeds it. Attribution helps when content is flying around the open internet and it's been reposted, re-encoded, screen recorded, memed, and basically put through the content laundering machine.
Content laundering! Wait, that's literally where my brain goes next. How long until model laundering becomes a thing? Like you bounce a clip through 3 generators on purpose so provenance tools just shrug and go to lunch?
It's going to happen. If attribution becomes operationally meaningful, people will try to evade it. That's in the SAGA conversation too. Compression, edits, post-processing, and adversarial behavior can all mess with those fingerprints.
And I already know where it breaks first in the real world. It's the repost chain. Because video on the internet doesn't stay pristine, it gets downloaded, re-uploaded, cropped, caption burned, and then somebody screen records it off TikTok like it's 2014.
Totally. The screen recording apocalypse is real. And that's why I see SAGA as infrastructure for platforms and investigators more than a button you press in Premiere.
Which is still huge for creators, just indirectly. Because if YouTube is involved in this research, I hear one thing. They want tools that make disclosure policies enforceable without relying on creators to self-report perfectly.
Yup. YouTube already has that how this content was made disclosure flow. If they can backstop it with detection and attribution signals, they can handle disputes more systematically.
Okay, but Hunter, tell me the fun part. What's the weirdest fingerprint you've heard these models leave behind? What's the AI equivalent of leaving your fingerprints on a donut?
For video generators, it's often motion, like microjitters, odd temporal smoothing, or textures that boil subtly frame to frame. You can get these patterns that aren't obvious to a viewer, but a classifier can learn them.
So like, the background doing that weird shimmery thing while the subject is locked in, the "my pores are perfect but the wall behind me is haunted" effect?
Exactly. And as video models get better, the obvious artifacts disappear, but the subtle statistical ones can remain. That's the whole point of SAGA. It's not looking for clown makeup mistakes, it's looking for signature behavior.
Okay, quick zoom out though, because the ecosystem has been moving fast this week. We just talked about Hailuo 3 rolling out in early access, and people are posting these clips like, "Look, it moves like real camera footage now."
Right, and that's the pressure cooker. More models shipping, faster iterations, better realism. And SAGA has a built-in maintenance problem. If models change their output characteristics with new versions, attribution systems have to keep updating, or they drift into best guess.
Which is kind of the whole vibe of AI right now. Best guess, but with confidence.
Speaking of confidence, we also had that OpenAI push with GPT 5.6 Soul Builders being nudged toward the Responses API. And that's a similar pattern. More production automation, more multi-step workflows, more need for auditability.
Yeah, because if you're running automations that crank out content all day, you need receipts. And not just the content was AI, you need which system did it, which version, what inputs, what got edited.
Which connects nicely to another story we covered. NVIDIA and partners launching the Open Secure AI Alliance. The theme across all of these is basically, cool, AI is powerful, now make it inspectable.
Inspectable is hot. Weird sentence, but true.
And then there's Google rebranding Notebook LM as Gemini Notebook, adding workflow upgrades like collections and in-notebook code execution. Again, less context switching, more auditable research to output pipelines.
I love that one because it's basically Google admitting creators are drowning in tabs. Like, thank you, I did not want to open 17 PDFs just to write a sponsored script about toothpaste.
So SAGA sits in this bigger trend, provenance, verification, and security turning into product layers. Not vibes, not ethics panels, actual tooling.
Okay, last spicy question. If SAGA gives a result with some probability, how should normal humans treat that? Because people on the internet see a percent and they lose their minds.
Treat it like a lead, not a verdict. If you're a creator, it's a prompt to check your own pipeline and keep project receipts. If you're a brand, it's a signal to investigate patterns. If you're a platform, it's one input among many.
And if you're a chaos gremlin,
then you will absolutely misuse it, which is why confidence, appeals, and transparency in how platforms present attribution matters.
Love that we're basically saying, human in the loop, or the loop becomes the problem.
Always. All right, that's the shift. Not just is it fake, but where did it likely come from and how that changes takedowns, disputes, and brand safety for video at scale.
And honestly, I can't wait for the era where your brand safety person says, "This looks like it came from model whatever," like they're identifying a designer bag on TikTok.
Oh, that's definitely last season's generator. Brutal.
Iconic.
Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily. Go check out bluelightningtv.com for AI news and updates, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
And if our fully automated AI production pipeline accidentally attributes this podcast to a toaster oven model, mind your business. Catch you later.